Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about this one NLP technique you must know, right? So this particular NLP technique is one of my absolute favorites. It's the one that I remember the most, that I always go back to. And I think it's so important and so powerful, and it's really helped me along my own journey as well. So what is this one NLP technique that I believe that you must know? So let's get straight into it, okay? So this is the NLP Success Formula, right? You may have come across it before, but this is something that was a complete game changer. I think I heard it first from Tony Robbins, and it was, it really helped me set goals and being able to achieve those goals as well. So, and really think about the goal that I'm doing as well. So there's lots of different things that can really help with this. So if you have a goal yourself, then it's really important that you know this NLP technique, okay? And it's super simple, but I'm going to explain it step by step. Okay, so the first step of this success formula, this NLP technique, is you must know your outcome. You must know your goal. Okay, and I think sometimes with goals, the more specific you get, the better, because then you know exactly what you're aiming for. So you have to know your outcome. You have to know what it is that you want. And I know that sounds super simple, but sometimes it can be a tiny bit more complex than that, because I feel like sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I want to lose weight, and that's their goal, right? They want to lose weight, but they don't say how much they want to lose, they don't make it specific. So I think being specific is one of the keys to this, right? Really knowing, because if you don't know the specifics about it, how are you going to know when you've actually reached it? How are you going to know that you've achieved your goal, right? So it's really cool, and it's really important that you know your outcome really well, so much that it's really precise. So for example, if you have a YouTube channel, then perhaps your goal may be to have 10,000 subscribers, or 20,000, or 1,000,000, right? So you got to know what it is that you want, okay? You got to know your outcome. So the second part of this NLP technique, the second part of this success formula, is to take action, right? Because you're not going to get there if you're not taking action, if you're not doing something about it, right? Because a lot of people can dream, and imagine things and think how wonderful life could be if your life was a certain way, but very rarely do people actually take consistent action on that. So what's important about this, though, is that the action that you take doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because some people get stuck, right, before they take action, because they're worried that they're not going to be taking the right steps. But it's important that to begin with, right, when you're just starting out, just do anything, right? Just try out a few different things. Take some action. It doesn't have to be perfect action. You don't have to have a perfect plan. You just need a plan, okay? So taking action is important. So how much action do you need to take? So let's say, for example, you have a YouTube channel. That might be, okay, I'm going to upload twice a week, or I'm going to upload once a week. That's the action that I'm going to take. And then you stay consistent with that, right? Or it could be blog. Perhaps you got a blog post, or you got a TikTok. The same rule kind of applies. Like, you got to know, okay, so how many times am I going to upload a week? What am I going to upload every day? Am I going to upload twice a week? So you got to know what action that you're going to take. If you're a salesperson, you got to think, okay, so how many cold calls am I going to do a day, right? So you got to take some action. You got to know what you got to do. And so, you can train yourself to do it, right? Because if you don't know what action you're going to take, right, it's going to be very up in the air. So if you know and you've written down something like, okay, I'm going to do this once a day. I'm going to do this 10 times a day. I'm going to do this twice a week, right? So you know what action that you're taking. So that's the next part of this NLP technique. You take action, right? And you stay consistent with it, okay? So the third part of this NLP technique is being aware if the actions that you are taking is working. Okay, so now this can be a little bit more complex, because sometimes in order to know if something is working, you kind of have to do it for a while, okay? So the classic example of this is exercise. You don't go to the gym once and then see that you're not fit and healthy, or you're not the weight that you want to be, and then you stop and you're like, okay, well, that obviously didn't work, right? Obviously, with things like exercise, diet, those things take time. Losing weight or gaining weight, whatever it may be that you're trying to achieve, if you have a fitness goal, is you're probably going to have to take action for a little while, like a couple of months, right, to see if it's working, okay? There may be some other things that maybe you'll be able to tell instantly if it works, but generally you should, most of the time, you need to do your action, whatever it is that you're doing, for a while, right? And then you look at it a couple of months down the road and say, okay, so is this working? Is it working? Okay? And if it's not working, then there may be a few things that you need to change. And if it is working and that you are seeing results, even if the progress is slow, then you know to carry on with that because it's working, right? So let's say, for example, you're exercising and you're on a diet, but you don't lose weight in a month. You don't lose not even a pound. Then you know that there's something that you're doing that isn't working, because you should be able to lose at least a couple of pounds within a month, right? So you got to think about that, right? So the last part of this NLP technique is, if the actions that you're doing are not working, then you simply change your approach, right? So what this means is that there may be something that you need to tweak in the actions that you're taking that you need to change. It doesn't mean that you change the goal. It doesn't mean that you change the outcome, because no doubt that's probably, the outcome is still something that you probably really want, right? So if you still want the goal, if you still really want the outcome, if it's still a dream of yours, then maybe you've just got to change some of the things that you're doing. Just try a different approach, okay? So, for example, right, if you do, let's go by the example I said earlier with someone who is trying to lose weight, but they don't lose any weight in a month, then perhaps there's something that you need to change in your diet or the way that you're exercising, because sometimes it could simply mean that you just need to move a lot more. Because, for example, I have a desk job, so I'm always at my desk. So I know that during the day, I need to move around a lot because I'm not burning many calories throughout the day, right? I live quite a healthy diet, I eat healthy foods, but I still need to move around a bit, during the day, especially when I'm working for a long time and I'm at the computer all day, right? I know that at some point, every so often, every hour or so, I need to get up and move around for a bit because I'm not one of these people that burns a lot of calories, right? So you got to take into consideration the job that you have, especially if exercise goals is something that is something that you have, or you're trying to lose weight. So it could be just something simple as just tweaking your approach a little bit. It could be just trying to, if it's something like diet and exercise, just trying to get, like doing your 10,000 steps a day or something like that. That's a popular one these days, right? Being able to get in those 10,000 steps. If, let's say, you've got a YouTube channel and you've been talking about a topic, it might not be that you change the videos because perhaps you really like what you talk about and what you discuss in your videos and how you like the videos, but maybe you got to change something like the SEO, so you got to change the search engine optimization so that you can get more traffic to your YouTube channel. Perhaps you need to change your thumbnails a bit so they become a little bit more eye-catching so more people click on them or something like that. See, it could be just small tiny things that you need to tweak in order to get better results, okay? So that's the last part. If it's not working and you've been doing these actions for a while, you may need to change your approach, and it may be something just really small, something really simple that you can easily implement, or perhaps you need to make a big change. So this is why it's important that the action that you take to begin with, it doesn't have to be perfect, because you can change it as you go and you'll learn as you go as well. You'll learn what works, right? Especially if you've got a website or you've got like a YouTube channel or you've got like a blog, so you can look at your analytics, because that gives you a really good, what I really love about analytics on YouTube and things like that is that you can really see the progress and you can see the numbers very clearly. You can see what kind of works, what doesn't work, and I really like that because it's really measurable and you can really see it. So if you've got something like that, if you've got a tool like that you can work with, then you can figure these kinds of things out. You can take some action for a while, a couple of months, see if it's working, and then ask yourself, is there anything that I can change to make this progress faster? Or perhaps you're not getting any progress and you would like to just change something so you can see some progress. So this is a really important NLP technique. I think it's amazing. I think it's the best way that you can actually set goals, because it's not just setting a goal, right? It takes into consideration that you need time to take action. You got to be acutely aware of the kind of results that you're getting and the importance of it's okay to actually change things up, to shake things up, to try and get better results, okay? because you get a lot of people talking about like goal setting workshops and stuff, but they rarely take into consideration all these other things that are really important. So I feel like if you're trying to achieve something in your life, then this really is the best NLP technique that you can follow. And also it's really simple, it's really easy to remember. Loads of people discuss this kind of this particular technique, so you can find it pretty much everywhere. You can find it in pretty much any NLP book, I'm pretty sure, as well. I've got a couple myself and have always seen this, but like I said, I first hand it from Tony Robbins. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this technique really helps you as well. Give yourself time, okay? It takes a while for us to achieve our goals. That's something that you need to consider, something that you got to remember. Give yourself time, because you need time, and you need time to see what's working, what's not working, so you can change your approach, okay? So give yourself time, and I hope that you achieve your goals, achieve the things that you want to achieve in this life. And I can guarantee that this NLP technique can help you do that if you stick to it and if you remind yourself of it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like some coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.